Hello and welcome to my overview video of the LepLoop Synth Drum Machine. It's a self-contained analog groovebox from Italy with plenty of features to create some really cool and interesting sounds and rhythms, while also offering lots of possibilities to interface it with other analog gear. If you've watched some of my recent Synth Jam videos, you will have already seen and heard it. Let's go over the features really quick. It's got two oscillators with ring mod and with frequency modulation. There's a self-oscillating low-pass filter with cutoff and resonance modulation, two attack decay envelopes connected to two amplifiers, an LFO, a noise generator and a Cassa drum voice to create a variety of drum sounds. To control all of those things, there are a bunch of switches which let you route the signals internally. There are control voltage inputs and outputs, MIDI in and even 4 separate trigger sequencers, which can each run at different clock divisions and step lengths. There is a sequencer for the Cassa drum voice, one to trigger the internal sample and hold, and one for each of the two VCA envelopes. Let's build a drum pattern to start with using the Cassa drum voice. First, I'll enter some triggers into the Cassa step sequencer to create a pattern. You can switch between 4 different sequencer patterns live or chain them together. Alright, now I'll tweak the Cassa's sound using the frequency, resonance and distortion knobs. The Cassa basically works like a pinged filter, which oscillates over a period of time when receiving a trigger. You can also blend the triggers of the sample and hold sequencer into the Cassa sequencer to create some rhythmic volume and sound variations. Now let's check out the oscillators. Right now we just hear VCO 1, which we can switch from a square wave to a triangle wave. There are 7 different ways to control its pitch: the internal pitch sequencer, the sample and hold, the LFO, the two envelopes, the inverse of envelope 1, or an external analog CV signal. The second VCO also has those options, but instead of the waveform switch, the second VCO can be frequency modulated either by VCO 1, envelope 1, or the LFO. Using the VCO mix knob, you can blend between the two VCO's audio signals, and you can also switch to VCO ring modulation. Next, let's listen to the filter, which can receive the signal from the VCO mix, an external audio signal or noise from the noise generator. The cutoff frequency has the same modulation sources as the VCOs. The resonance can be modulated by the LFO or envelope number 2. I've entered a pattern in the first envelope sequencer and set the envelope to modulate the filter cutoff frequency. Like this, the envelope opens up the filter on each step, letting the sound pass through while adding the filter's audio characteristics. The pitch of both VCOs is controlled by the internal pitch sequencer. To create a new pitch sequence, you record the internal sample and hold values and loop them. This lets you create new sequences on the fly, although they will be semi-random as they can only be sampled from noise or the LFO. This fits in really well with the rest of the LepLoop standalone use though, which is centered around modulation and live control for rhythmic experimental music. If you want to play it in tune with your other gear, you can still sequence it externally and integrate it into an analog system like a Eurorack modular. If we check out the mixer section, there are also 2 volume knobs for each of the VCAs next to the Cassa and filter volume knobs. This means that you can also mix in the non-filtered sound of the VCOs or, in fact, something completely different depending on your signal routing. For example, you could route noise to VCA 1 for some hi-hat sounds. Then VCA 2 could receive the VCO 1 audio and the filter could receive VCO 2 audio. So you basically get 4 different voices which can play at the same time with different patterns and lots of modulation options that can be accessed live. And this is really just scratching the surface of the LepLoop, as you can connect the different parts to other gear as well for even crazier possibilities. If you like what you've seen and heard so far, then check out my sound demo video for more of the LepLoop in action, and contact Tony from LepLoop if you're interested in purchasing one. Thanks a lot for watching, post your questions and comments below, and see you very soon.